श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम ओम अखंडानंद संबोधः वंदनाद्यस्य जायते गोविंदं तमहं वंदे चिदानंदतनुं गुरुम्. So yesterday we were seeing atyanta pamarah kasyid putra ātmā iti manyate ātmanīva soputrepi prabala prīdarshanaāt. So we are taking different schools. Among the different schools, we are first seeing the Pamara, the complete illiterate. Atyanta Paramara, completely illiterate. He does not have any kind of knowledge regarding anything. What does he see? Putra ātmā iti manyate. He sees his son to be himself. He sees the son to be himself. Now we have to understand here, when we say son to be himself, we are referring only to the son, not even to the daughter. So don't even think about your cat and dogs. We are not talking about cats and dogs. Because people do see the cat and dog as a themselves. But the thing is, here we are talking about a proof with 3 levels. Meaning we have to establish something. If you have to establish something, we need 3 valid proofs. One is a shruti, the shruti text. Second is a yukti, logic. Third is anubhava. Even if one of them fail, you can't establish it. Like Shruti says, ātmanam vapam udakidat. Ātmanam vapam udakidat. He tore open his own belly. Can you see someone doing something like that? No. Or agnina sinchati. He was sprinkling with fire. Can you sprinkle with fire? Not possible. So those things cannot be experienced in the world. There can be no anubhava. So we can't accept that. Okay. Then we have anubhava. We have an experience. That experience is or this logic. Let us say logic first, second. Okay, because shruti, yukti. The yukti and anubhava also it can be. The moon is like a small size pizza. What? Yes. There are some toppings also. I don't know what kind of toppings they have in that. It looks like my pizza. Now the problem is, though you see it to be a small size pizza, the Shruti says, the Shastra says, the science says that it is of this length, this height, and this diameter. It is not just a flat circle. It is a full circle. Now, all these are negated through Shruti. So that cannot also be accepted. Your anubhava, your experience, which is you see this fellow to be very hale and healthy, but you see also he does not eat anything in the day. So you extrapolate. So you understand, okay, this fellow does not eat in the day, but he is hale and healthy. That means he is eating the night. That is a postulation. Okay, so that is the logic. That is also logic, right? So you have to have all the 3 coinciding, complementing each other, never contradicting any one of them. Okay, so he is using those proofs. Putre tu puṣṭe puṣṭo'haṃ naṣṭe naṣṭo'hamityataḥ anubhūtibalāccāpi yuktito'pi śruterapi putre puṣṭe puṣṭo'haṃ naṣṭe tu naṣṭo'hamityataḥ anubhūtibalāccāpi yuktito'pi śrutiḥ api. So I want to establish this. I am saying putre puṣṭe aham puṣṭah. If the son is hale and healthy, this father, this parent, he sees himself to be hale and healthy. So he is nourished, I am nourished. That is why in olden days, nowadays people are more selfish than the olden days. But the thing is, in olden days, the parents used to save food for their children. They used to provide, even if they are hungry, they eat only once. They try to provide something more to the children. Now they will give them food and they will be hungry, but they will be very happy. Why? Because my son has eaten food. That is the kind of thing. So, putre puṣṭe, if he is nourished, they feel themselves to be nourished. Naṣṭo'haṃ naṣṭah, if he is spoiled or dead, naṣṭa can also be spoiled or he is dead. So, if he is spoiled or dead, they will feel themselves to be spoiled or dead. I am lost. I am completely gone. That is what they will feel. So, yathā, therefore, because of this, anubhūtibalāccāpi yuktito'pi śruterapi, I can explain the same thing through the experience, through the logic, and through the shruti text also. What is it? He is nourished, I feel myself nourished. He is lost, I feel myself to be lost. What is the shruti here? I will give you examples, each one. I will explain that. First, he says shruti. Shruti, yukti, anubhava. First, I will take shruti. ātmā putranāmāsītyevaṃ ca vadati śrutiḥ. Shruti says, ātmā putranāmāsī. That is the shruti statement. ātmā putranāmāsī iti evam vacha vadati śrutiḥ. Putranāmā ātmā asi. In the name of the Son, you are the one in the name of the Son. We are not talking about in the name of the Father. We are talking about in the name of Son, you are. The Father is in the name of Son. Pitā vai putraḥ. Son is verily the Father. So, there are innumerable shrutis like that. And the Upanishad very clearly says the Father takes 3 births. One from his mother's womb. Second, being born as son. Third, by his death. So he takes 3 births. So, ātmā vai putraḥ, Shruti very clearly says, the one who is called my son is myself. ātmā, myself. Enough, is it not? Okay, I'll give you an example. Dīpo, how can you call your son to be yourself? Why not my cat? You have that doubt, right? She'll ask. We'll say that. dīpāddīpo yathā tadvatpituḥ putra prajāyate piturguṇānāṃ tanaye bījāṅkuravadīkṣaṇāt. This is why. dīpāddīpo yathā tadvatpituḥ putra prajāyate piturguṇānāṃ tanaye bījāṅkuravadīkṣaṇāt. Yathā, just like dīpāddīpah. From one lamp you light another lamp. You don't waste too many matchsticks. You start the fire with one lamp, and with that lamp you normally light the other lamp. With the candle also the same thing. We do that. Okay. Now, yathā, just like that, tadvat, similarly, pituḥ putraḥ prajāyate, from the father son is born. How do you know that? Father son. That is how it is. Suddenly something happened, he became pregnant, and no, nothing like that can happen here. To be is there is a cause-effect relationship. How do you know that cause-effect relationship? bījāṅkuravadīkṣaṇāt, logic. bījāṅkuravadīkṣaṇāt, like the seed and the sprout. Don't understand the example. Okay, I'm going to explain it up. I'll explain it up. See, I have a mango seed. Okay, so what I do is I plant it. After some years, I reap a lot of coconuts. Or I have wheat grain. So I use that as seed and I farm. And after some months, some months, I am able to reap some rice. You understand? Oh, Guruji made a mistake. No. That is a mistake I did very wantedly. Think, sir, if I am going to plant a seed, I am going to reap whatever seed I planted, the similar family. If I am going to plant wheat, I am going to only harvest wheat grains, not rice, nothing else. So, similarly, piturguṇānāṃ tanaye ikṣaṇāt. In the whatever is the characteristics of the father, you see in the son. People used to say this. Oh, he has the eyes like a father. He is tall. He has that color. He has a face cut like his father, and all that. All the attributes of the father are seen in the son. Oh, your father looked like this when he was your age. They say all this. So this is the idea. So the father's characteristics are seen in the son like the seed and the sprout. Okay. Therefore, ato'yaṃ putra ātmā iti manyate bhrāntimattamaḥ. Therefore, atah ayam putra ātmā iti manyate bhrāntimattamaḥ. Atah, therefore, ayam putra ātmā iti. This son is myself, not myself, myself. He sees that. Who? Bhrāntimattamaḥ, the one who is completely deluded. Bhrantimat means one who is deluded. Tamaha, when you add a tama, this suffix tama, that is to show the superlative degree. Bhrantimattamaḥ. Okay. Now he is the greatest. In fact, greatest, the word est. That is also one of the superlative degrees which we use in Sanskrit. Tamat ishtan. For tama, ishta pratyaya comes. Greatest is a Sanskrit suffix actually. So, bhrantimattamaḥ, person who is completely deluded to the core, meaning he is the superior among the deluded. Bhrantimattamaḥ. Out of many, he is the one best. So that is why we are taking him as the first punching bag. We are taking him. We are not taking him. That he comes up himself. Oh, this is what is ātmā. Being an idiot, he is the one who will talk first, right? So, what should we do? Don't do anything. What? Tanmataṃ dūṣayatyanyaḥ putra ātmā kathaṃ tviti. Tanmataṃ dūṣayati anyaḥ putra ātmā kathaṃ tviti. Tanmataṃ, his philosophy, his doctrine, his teaching. Anyaḥ dūṣayati, the other one refutes. Kathaṃ putra ātmeti. How can you say son to be your yourself? How can you say that? Who refutes it? Tanmataṃ anyah dūṣayati. Someone, not us, not Vedanti. He does not say vayam aham. No, he says vayam aham means vayam, we, aham, I. He is not saying we are going to refute him, I am going to refute him. No, he is saying someone, anyah, someone is refuting someone. This fellow. What is Vedanti doing here? Vedanti, you have to understand Vedanta, studying Vedanta or understanding Vedanta, you have to be very clear about this. Vedantin does not hate anyone. Vedanti is not angry with anyone. Cannot be. You are teaching ātmā, and how can you hate or be angry with someone? Impossible. Thing is, we are just sakshi. This is the sakshi here. We are just witness. We are just watching these fellows fight each other. What are you going to do now? We have to just wait and watch, and finally, after they kill each other, whatever is the one who is left, we'll just finish him off. That is what is called as prathama malla nirvahana nyaya. Prathama malla nirvahana nyaya. Nirvahana. So, prathama malla. Malla means wrestler. Prathama means first. The first wrestler. Nirvahana, defeating nyaya. Meaning, see, any sports, not just in wrestling, any sports. So, you start playing that sport. Then if you are very good in the club will choose you. If you are very good, they'll put you in a club. Only good people go to tuitions and club. Okay, nowadays that has become like that. So you are put in a club, and then from the club they put you in a bigger district level, then state level. Then if you are better, then they'll take you to national level. If you are even better, they'll take you to international level. Okay, you go international, and international, like Olympics is happening in Paris now. Now, internationally, someone goes and wins gold medal, means he is the champion. world champion. Now, this world champion this fellow is a simple fellow. He's taunting that fellow. Without even knowing who that fellow is, what that fellow's power is. When he is taunting, okay, come, let's have a game. He just lifts him and puts him, topples him. Okay, so pulls him and drops him and all that, and he loses. This world champion loses. Should we go and beat each one of the other street champions now? Don't need, because we have beaten the world champion. That is what is necessary. So we'll just wait for the others to come to the world championship, because we know we are already world champions. We don't need to prove anything to anyone. We don't have to prove anything to anyone. Vedanti does not need anyone to give a certificate. So he just stays there. Prathama Malla Nirvahana Nyaya. That is another Nyaya in your book. Okay. Now, he is refuting him. What does he say? Whatever he said, it's all answer. prītimātrātkathaṃ putra ātmā bhavitumarhati anyatrapi ikṣate tviti kshetrapatra dhanādishu prītimātrātkathaṃ putra ātmā bhavitumarhati anyatrapi ikṣate prītihi kshetra patra dhanādishu. Prītimātrā, just because you love, just because there is love. Putra ātmā kathaṃ bhavitumarhati. How can you say your son to be self? How can you say the son to be self, yourself? Why? Anyatrapi kshetra patra dhanādishu prītikṣate. Even in other places like kshetra, your land, patra, your vessels, or dhana, your money, or your cat, your dog, you can include a dog here. You see, because in the cat, dog, you don't see your characteristics. So you should have been included here. You see the love, more love in them, not just the son. So equal love in those things also. If you lose your money, you lose everything. If you grow, the money grows, you feel yourself growing. All that is seen there. So that is why he says prītirdarshanāt. So you can't say son is self, cat is self, money is self, love is self, all that different ideas they have, right? So you can see many things. Putra puṣṭa dehe'sminprāṇināṃ prītirishyate pradite bhavane putram tyaktva jantuh palayate. I gave you an example of land. I will come to that also. Putra puṣṭa dehe'smin prāṇināṃ prītirishyate pradite bhavane putram tyaktva jantuh palayate. Putrat vishishte. Putrat vishishta prītihi. Vishishta, special, prīti, love, greater love, special love. Putrat, from the son. Ishyate, prītihi ishyate prāṇināṃ asmin dehe. The living beings, they see in their own body greater love than in what they see in the sun, etc. That is why Shruti very clearly says, Ātmanastu kāmāya sarvam priyam bhavati. Ātmanah tu kāmāya sarvam priyam bhavati. Ātmanah tu kāmāya sarvam priyam bhavati. For the sake of love of one's own self, everything becomes love. We don't love na putrat, putra kāmāya putra, na putrat, na vittat. You don't love the putra for the sake of the son, the money for the sake of money, the other things, cat, dogs, etc., for the sake of them, but only for the sake of your own self. We are all selfish. We have to accept that. We can't say, I love it. No. That is all for you, because that gives you happiness. That is why you are loving those things. Otherwise, if that is not going to give you happiness, why don't you love a tiger, cat family? No. Why don't you love somebody else? No. Because they are not conducive to you. Whatever is conducive, whatever is of my liking, you like that. If it is okay for me, if it's giving me happiness, then I love those things. If it doesn't give me happiness, I don't love them. I sometimes hate also. They are selfish. Therefore, Ātmanastu kāmāya sarvam priyam bhavati. Only for the sake of self, everything becomes love. So, jantu, how do you see this? I'll explain. Pradipte, you gave lamp example, but you idiot, you forgot one thing. What? You forgot to put off the lamp. What happened? Pradipte jantu bhavane. Bhavane pradipte, when the house is in fire. Bhavana means house. Pradipte, when it is fire because of your lamp. Jantu putram tyaktva palayate. This fellow leaves his own kid and runs away. First, he saves himself. That is what you are taught in the flight also. Not any. Many of us would have experienced. Good thing is this. We don't need to experience that. They say during the takeoff, they will say, if the mask falls, then you have to place it first on yourself and then help the others. That is what you are taught there. So that is what you have to do. First, you have to serve yourself. Then if there is someone else other than you, you can help them with the knowledge. First, be selfish here. So he says, putram tyaktva. This is why we give an example. In the ātmā sarvam priyam bhavati, there we give an example to say self is the thing which we love the most. Though the Gen Z says, I love myself. Everyone loves themselves. They are very vocal about that and they are selfish. Too selfish, unlike the others. So the older generation, they used to love others because they are loving themselves most. Now these fellows, they want themselves. That's all, nothing else. Now think as putram tyaktva. This example, you give up your son and run away, and outside, when there is fire in your house, you run away outside and cry from outside, help, help my son, help my son. You should have done that. No, you don't do it. Why? Because you love yourself most. During this ātmā, we give the example. One fellow is going from one village to another village for sake of getting a job. Now, while going, he encounters a river. So they have to cross a river. So he ties all the valuables and puts it on his head. He puts his son on his shoulder, young son on his shoulder, and holds onto the wife with one hand and the cattle with another hand. They are cattle or something. Okay, something, and he is going. So when the force of the river, the current of the river is too much, he leaves the cattle. It is little too much, he tilts his head and drops the weight on his head also. Now he has only his son or wife. So when it is little too much, he gives up his son so that he can have another son or daughter later with his wife. Sometimes people give up wife, or wife may give up his husband also. That's a different thing. So think as he gives them up also. Or course, the order may be different. Okay. Now when he is about to come to the shore, he is caught by a stone and he is caught by a crocodile. He cannot save his leg. He doesn't care. Even if he loses leg, he wants to escape alive. So we are ready to lose both our hands, both our legs, all these sense organs, but we want to stay alive. Only the head and trunk of the body exists, but still we want to stay alive. We want to live. That is the desire everyone has. That is why we love ourselves much more than we love anything, anyone in this world. So he says, tam vikrinati dehartham pratikulam dihanti cha tasma ātmā tu tanayo na bhavecha kadāchana tam vikrinati dehartham pratikulam nihanti cha tasma ātmā tu tanayah na bhavecha kadāchana. How do you say this? I'll explain to you. Tam putram vikrinati dehartham vikrinati. For the sake of one's own enjoyments, people don't think twice to sell their kids. They are even willing to sell their kids if they can get money and be safe. So not just that, pratikule. And if that son or daughter is doing bad things, then they don't even think, not conducive for themselves, for the whole world, or for the society. They don't even think twice to kill him. Nihanticha, they even destroy him, kill him. Tasma, therefore, kadachana tanaye ātmā na bhave. Therefore, son can never become the self. Okay? But I told you, his son looks like the father and all that. I'll talk to you about that. Guna rupadi sadrishyam dīpavatna sute pituhu avyanga jayate vyangah sugunada piturguṇānāṃ. I have not concluded. I said, therefore, it cannot be. But still, you gave a beautiful bījāṅkuravadīkṣaṇāt reason. Bījāṅkuravadīkṣaṇāt, like this sprout and the seed and sprout. I am coming to that also. Guna rupadi sadrishyam dīpavatna sute pituhu. I am taking the same Deepa example. Avyanga jayate vyanga sugunada piturguṇānāṃ. Deepavat, like the lamp, you gave the example, that is also not right example. Why? Pituhu gunarupadi sadrishyam sute na. There is no similarity of the characteristics. As you see, guna rupadi, guna characteristics, rupa form, etc., adi, etc., characteristics, forms, etc., as seen in the father, pituhu putra, pituhu sute, as seen in the father, in the son. You don't see that. No, you don't see that. There is no similarity between characteristics or the form, etc. There need not be. How do you say? I'm giving you two examples. You can count more. Avyangat, vyangaha. Avyangat, a person who has who is specially abled. Now we have to think 100 times before saying these kind of things. Earlier we used to say blind, deaf, dumb, etc. Now we cannot say this. So, okay. So the specially abled he is. I don't even know if there's a new word now. Specially abled. Now this specially abled, his son is he has no defect. Father has defects. Son has no disabilities, no defects. It may not be the same way. The father need not be having any defects, but the son may have defects. So, defective father, non-defective son. Non-defective father, defective son. That also. Sugunada vidurgunaha. From a good father, bad son. Good characteristics father, bad characteristics son. Or it can be other ways also. Bad characteristics in the father and good characteristics in the son. We see this. Oh, see the father and son. What characters? Both ways they will say the same thing. So we can see an idiot begetting a very good intelligent kid, or an intelligent getting a idiot. Can happen whichever way. We see in the recent times, because of the exams and all that, we see the toughest exams, the CA exams, charter accountancy, and the IAS, the administrative service exams, which are very tough to crack. These, when you see in paper, they will give you, oh, this rickshawala's son, this rickshaw puller's son, this tea shop owner's son or daughter, they have cracked this exam. Whatever exam, the toughest exams, NEET, etc. There are more. Every exam here is very tough. So all the toughest exam, these people crack. When they crack, it will be on the news. See, so showing that this fellow, the father is illiterate and the son is has cracked the most toughest of exams. So this happens in the world. Therefore, you cannot say son is yourself. Okay? Why? I'll give you logic. I'll come to that logic. Okay? Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.